I think I have admiration for him. He's the P.T. Barnum of the generation. He took wrestling and made it a household word and took it national and made himself a billionaire. Now, is Vince a ruthless billionaire businessman? Yes. But you probably have to be. I bear no grudge against Vince.
You used to, though, didn't you?
No. When I disagreed with him, I did the proper thing. You go to court. I took him to federal court and beat him, and I have a retirement now. He has to pay me for every tape I've ever been on, and as long as he sells them. So quarterly, I get a check from him and have since 1991. I call it my wrestling retirement. I'm the only wrestler in the world that has it. A retirement, even though technically it's not. Why do you think he won't have me back? At the last WrestleMania on my show, I got deluged. Everybody, Jesse, how come they never bring you back to the WrestleManias? They bring back all the other old timers. And I told them why. I said, if I go back and Vince tapes it and sells it, he's got to pay me royalties. He's not going to invite me back and have to pay me royalties. It's that simple. So you never say never, but I probably will never be at a WrestleMania because it would require them to pay me royalties from federal court.
How do you think Vince views you?
I think that at times he hates my guts, but I think deep down he admires me because he sees a lot of him in me. I don't take crap from no one. I'm an individual, and I didn't even take crap from him. That's why we separated. He wanted to control my marketing, and I wouldn't let him. I already had copyrighted Jesse the Body Ventura, and I owned it, and I wouldn't give it up to him. That's why we parted company, because I would not give up my individuality or ownership to him.
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never.
What?
Can't trust him. I'm not friends with anyone I don't trust. I have to have a trust with someone to be their friend. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize. I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you can ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had to be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair because he was my friend. And I thought, but then I understand why. When we went to court, I saw in WrestleMania 3, Hogan got paid more than all of us combined. Now, why would he want a union when he's getting taken care of? Imagine that, WrestleMania 3, 93,000 people, and he got more than Andre the Giant and all the rest of us combined. If there was a union, would that happen? No.
What communication did you have with Hulk after you found that out?
None. I've never spoken to him since and don't intend to.
Did he ever try and
Why would he bother with me? He's dealing with Hulkamania. The only time he made contact, he wrote a book when I was governor, and he was coming here once to do a book signing, and he wanted to make sure I wouldn't get him arrested. So he actually had Vince McMahon contact me as governor. And you know what I told Vince? I said, you tell Hulk, believe it or not, I have more important things on my mind than him. I said, I know it'll destroy his ego to hear that, but I don't think of him on a daily basis.
What did Hulk Hogan say about steroids that bothered you?
He said he never took them. That was a lie. Actually, when he was here in Minneapolis, that's who you went to get him from.
Really?
Well, you don't say that's not true, but for him, the common laugh used to be when he used to tell the kids to say their prayers and take their vitamins. In the dressing room, we'd always laugh and say, orals or injectables, when he'd tell them to take their vitamins, because a slang term for steroids is vitamins.